Hey guys, it's Adam with the Real Movie Review. This is not actually a movie per se that we're going to be talking about this time. It's actually the new Star Wars Force Awakens trailer that just came out. I wanted to do this one as the first one just because it's really big, it's really important. People are talking a lot about it right now. So I kind of wanted to just break the ground with this one starting off. And kind of go through the newest trailer that just came out. Now, if you're not aware of it, there are actually 3 trailers. The first 2 are pretty much considered a teaser trailer. This one was actually the real full-length trailer. The good thing about them, though, and what J.J. Abrams does as a complete genius, is you can kind of piece together little things, but you don't actually get the story out of them. He just gets you hyped up for the movie, which is genius, because most movies now they're starting to come out where you watch the trailer and you get really excited about it, and then you watch the movie and you're like, I saw this whole dang movie in the trailer. So I'm really excited about this one. Matter of fact, I was one of those nerds that got on and bought my ticket the night they went on sale. But with all that being said, with the trailer, I'm gonna go straight into the trailer. The Star Wars The Force Awakens trailer. It starts off, the very first scene, you see someone out scavenging this giant wreck of a giant ship. If you haven't seen it, go watch it right now. I'll wait. Okay, now, when you first see her, that is one of the main characters that is going to be named Rey. And she plays such a major role. Like, I don't even know what role she's going to play in the movie, but in the Star Wars universe, her role is already major, because in Star Wars you really don't see too many women that actually play a major role, other than like Princess Leia and a couple others, but most of them end up being princesses or queens. This character starts off digging through metal, scavenging, walking through deserts. I mean, you can just tell she starts off as just a rough, tough type of lady. So you start off with her, and I personally feel after this that she is going to play a much, much larger role in the overall scheme of the story than we were originally led on to believe. But the 2 main characters that they're always talking about is Rey and Finn. So Finn is actually in the very next scene that you see him dressed up as a stormtrooper, and he takes his helmet off. And I think that's pretty much the time where he's really confused about where he wants to go. He doesn't feel like he should be doing this. But I feel like he's in the movie they're going to portray it as if he was born and raised to be a stormtrooper. Not like a clone, but to be a stormtrooper. And in the original teaser trailers you saw a TIE fighter blowing up a bunch of people, and on this one you see a TIE fighter flying away from a Star Destroyer down to a planet. Now this is my assumption. I'd like to know what you guys think or how you feel about this. I would assume that is Finn's TIE fighter, and he's the one shooting on the Star Destroyer, excuse me, and then he tries to make his escape and gets shot down. I'm assuming that's how they start him off, because you see him fall and you see him kind of say, I've got nothing going for me, I need to find my own way. The very next scene is major. It is when we actually find our villain of the movie, which is played by Adam Driver, which we're assuming is Kylo Ren. And it's also been announced that the Ren is kind of like Darth Vader. Darth is a title for the Sith, and Ren is kind of like a title of the Brothers of Ren. So it's going to be Kylo Ren. A lot of people, there's been a lot of talk on, because you don't see Luke Skywalker in the trailers per se. You see someone put their hand on R2-D2, but you don't actually see anybody's face. You don't know if it's Luke or anything. I personally don't think Luke is going to be bad. Now, that's not a guarantee. He very well could be based on, evidence given, but I personally don't think he will be. However, there is a strong following that say he will be bad, and I know in the past there have been interviews where Mark Hamill, the guy who plays Luke Skywalker, has said he really wanted Luke to go bad in the original series. So we'll see where they take that. But as far as this one, I don't think he will be, but we'll see. So this Kylo Ren, it makes in the preview, it makes you think that he's kind of worshiping this Darth Vader mask, which again would kind of come by why people think Luke Skywalker went bad, because Darth Vader was burned in the possession of Luke and Han. So somehow that body would have had to gone back to, made its way to Kylo Ren somehow. So people think it was probably Luke that started it, and that's why they have it. But then the very next scene, you see someone getting tortured, and I don't think that the blast you see afterwards is the actual blast that happens. Maybe it's a vision he's seeing, or you know, he's using the Force to put that vision in his head. I'm not entirely sure, but as you're going on from there, the graphics that J.J. Abrams is putting into this is phenomenal. I think he's doing the same that he did for Star Trek, which instead of just showing the plane in the 3D world, he actually built per scale model the Millennium Falcon and those things, because in Star Trek, which he did a phenomenal job in Star Trek, especially being able to associate between the real Trekkies who are really big into it and just the general public. And I think, for me personally, that's where a lot of producers and directors go wrong and writers go wrong, because they only write for a specific group instead of trying to write for everybody to enjoy it. And I really think J.J. Abrams is going to do a good job with these Star Wars, being able to have everyone be excited about it and everybody want to go see it, whether you're a Star Wars fan or not. I think everybody's going to enjoy this movie. And then, of course, everybody was real psyched to see Han Solo. There's a lot of things that happen in this where you look at it and you say, oh, it could be this, it could be that. The fight scenes look phenomenal. The fact that when the X-Wings fly over water, you see the water jets fly up behind them is phenomenal. Just those little details that they paid attention to tells me that J.J. Abrams is going to do this right. I really have a lot of faith in J.J. on this one. I really have a lot of faith in actually, you know, what Disney is starting on this. I don't think they're going to do it wrong. So I think in general, I'm gonna let you guys go watch the trailer, but I think in general they're going to do a very good job. You can see the battles that are taking place, and I think they're doing a good job in setting up the story. If you remember in the old episodes 4, 5, and 6, they kind of followed a series where in the end of the first movie, it felt like the good side won. It felt like the good side won. At the end of the second one, you kind of think, when I say second one, I mean the older ones. At the end of episode 5, you kind of think, did we win? I mean, all of the guys are technically still alive, but I feel like we got our butts kicked. But when you get to Return of the Jedi, you know, that's where we come back, and at the end we feel like the good side won. Although you still see that conflict in Luke when he's fighting at the very end of Return of the Jedi, where he cuts off Darth Vader's hand and he looks down and he sees his own. You can see that's where the fight and the conflict between good and evil is coming in, and you can see that Luke has both good and dark side in him, that he's still capable of that, but he makes the decision to be part of the light side. So I think also watching this, you see a lot of the characters tear up, you see a lot of them cry, you see a lot of them go through devastating things. And I think, knowing that this is going to be the first one, I think they're going to kind of end it with, yes, we won, but we just won the battle. Similar to Lord of the Rings, and at the end of the first one, they won the very small battle to get away from the Uruk-hai when they split up. So at the end, you're kind of like, they're all still alive, they're all okay, but we're split up, the ring's still going to Mordor. But when they end movies like that, it also puts the audience in a situation of, what would I do in that situation? Did the heroes do what the heroes were supposed to do? Is the villain a true villain, and is he someone that I need to fear? And it's, I think that's very, very important for movies that are going to last. Movies that people are going to talk about for a long time. And I hope that Star Wars does the same thing. I'm really hoping, especially now that they have the Rogue One coming out. If you don't know what that is, go research Rogue One. It's supposed to be a movie coming up that Disney's going to put out concerning a squadron, the Rogue Squadron, that was going after the plans for the Death Star that we see in A New Hope, where the general stands up and she pretty much says that we got these plans, but we paid with them with a great cost. I'd recommend going and checking it out because it's going to be a big thing coming 2016. It's another way of Disney really stretching out and expanding the Star Wars universe to us for us to really be able to enjoy it. But I'm not going to cover every little detail of this trailer. That would take lots and lots of time. But if any of you guys have anything or any ideas that I might have missed, or you want to point something out that maybe you disagree with, this is just my opinion, and I would really appreciate any feedback. Let me know what you think, and let me know what you're excited about, what you're not excited about. If you think they're doing it right, if you think they're going to make a huge mistake, let me know. And we'll see where it takes us, and we'll all be sitting in excitement ready for December 18th. I hope you guys all bought your tickets, because I'll be sitting there ready to go. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you next time.